to the Footy Family Podcast, episode number 3, where you'll find information on all things football, soccer. I'm your host, Nick Potowski, and with me are my sons, Luke and Axel. We're here to review the 3 World Cup matches that took place today and the 3 that will take place tomorrow. We'll preview. As you may notice, if you've been watching us on our YouTube channel, we are very fond of all the kits. We managed to get 39, hopefully maybe 40 of the 48 kits. Luke's wearing his authentic Norway kit tonight. Axel's in France, the 2 winners on the day. Unfortunately, Mexico's on the wall here. I'm wearing Ecuador because I think Ecuador had actually the nicest kits of all the teams in the tournament. I really like this. It's good quality and it wasn't the most expensive one. So if you have some extra dough and you want a nice kit, I'd recommend Ecuador, although they did go out today in a loss to Mexico. Luke, what's your favorite kit of the tournament thus far, our team or what have you?
Belgium.
Just because it's Belgium, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Not exactly the answer I was looking for, but okay, I get it. Axel, what's your favorite kit?
I am fond of the England red or New Zealand black.
Yeah, New Zealand black was kind of cool. I think Puma overall did the best of all the kit makers. Nike's shoulder epaulettes were not great. But anyway, we'll move on. The first game today that we have to review is Ivory Coast and Norway. Norway took this 2-1 with goals in the 39th and 86th minute, with Ahmad scoring in the 74th. Axel, why do you think Norway here edged out the Ivory Coast? Ivory Coast, the 33rd seed, and Norway, the 31st seed.
I think Norway took the lead because of Ivory Coast's weird obsession with not starting arguably their star player Ahmad, who's not a defender but can be impactful. And they had more possession, more XG. It was tight, but it seemed like Norway deserved to win just because stats, and they looked like they played better when watching the game.
Luke, comments on your thoughts on why Norway was able to narrowly edge this out in the 86th minute with what was a somewhat accidental tap-in from Holland?
I think their overall quality, Holland was pretty absent, but obviously scored a goal. He came to life in the second half.
Yeah, because if you look at the stats here, expected goals is 1.90 to 1.49. Norway slightly higher. Total shots actually favored Ivory Coast,
Yeah.
but obviously those shots on target were close at 5-4, again with Ivory Coast having one more. It was really in the possession stats that favored the Norwegians just slightly with 53%. So in essence, I think this just came down to who had the best quality player, right? And obviously, if you have Holland, you have goals.
I also thought, I don't think starting, obviously Ahmad scored and played well when he came in, but they went for experience with Nicolas Pepe over him, which you could.
I guess.
Yeah, it's
fine.
fine.
I can't profess
He
to be an
obviously
expert.
got an assist too.
I know. I can't be an expert in all players African,
Weird.
but it is weird that they didn't play Ahmad from the beginning in such a big game. But we'll question that, as again, a bit of quality has to come from somewhere in games like this, because I think that's how such narrow matches are settled, and that's what it came down to, is that Norway has the best player, one of the best players in the world, and all the stars in this World Cup have thus far shown up.
You're talking about Sorloth, right?
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, we'll move on to the second game where, oh my God, quality. France beats Sweden 3-0 in what was a beautiful game to watch, especially if you're a French fan. FIFA not letting them wear black armbands to commemorate Didier Deschamps, the French manager's recently deceased mother. However, they got to celebrate when Mbappe went over to hug him when he scored his first goal in the 45th minute. Scored again in the 74th. Barcola scored in the 53rd. Sweden did little to nothing in this game. Luke, take us through what happened in this game. Give me a play-by-play and a brief way.
Mbappe.
Mbappe, period.
No, Dembele and Olise combined on a corner. Mbappe made a run through the left edge of the box, got the ball, was against Geiker, scissor, touched it in, and bend it to the.
Yeah, I think importantly,
Front post.
as you guys know, right? You dribble into the box, you take on more than one player. Each defender thinks the other guy's going to tackle. Each defender thinks they're going to attack. The other guy's going to tackle Mbappe. Mbappe just shoots it through the pool of them and scores side netting. Classic, right?
Then, as I remember, Barcola got it again from Elise. I know, was it Elise?
I think it was Elise, yes.
He slipped them in, and then Barcola scored from the break.
Elise
Left
assisted
Did
all
he-
three, right? I think.
No, wait, let
Or
me
no,
see.
the last two anyway.
Yeah, and then
Speaking of Elise, what a goal he would have had if the post was
The
on.
bike, the bicycle. I mean, for the listener, obviously Mbappe is the star, and I think this commentary also was from Thierry Henry. But Elise is the magic man on this team, creating all the assists or most of the assists for this team, and he's just a wonderful player to watch. Almost had a bike. He has the most assists in the tournament thus far. Next is Bruno Guimaraes from Brazil. So yeah, I mean, France just unbelievably creative, unbelievably solid at the back. Axel, I don't know if you saw Guy Carez's attempt on goal, but it just shows you the difference between him and Mbappe, don't you think?
Yeah, I mean it's Gyökeres.
He couldn't bend it, and Mbappe just makes it look so
yeah.
easy. It was good to see Isak playing well. We'll wish him well in coming back to Liverpool, but Sweden just didn't have a lot in this game. XG favored France basically in 4 versus less than 1. So not a lot to talk about here. I think
Not
very
quite 5-1
very
though.
expected that France won, and France won easily. Maybe the most exciting and yet not exciting match of the day was Mexico, the 14th ranked team in the world, versus Ecuador, the 23rd ranked team in Mexico City at the Azteca. Geez, what happened here, Luke?
Mexico had the crowd with them, scored. Quiñones scored a great goal. Raul also scored a great goal. Ecuador was off. They played too slow. They acted like they were winning but losing at the same time.
Yeah, I think
Just an awful
they were
day.
just shell-shocked. Axel, what was your first impression of the game, and how do you think things went?
The minute Mexico scored, I think the game was over. They had the crowd behind them, and last podcast we said we didn't know where the goals would come from in Ecuador, and it remains a mystery. So
Yeah, I think as for those people who didn't get a chance to see the game, the Azteca was just rocking Mexico. I don't think I've ever seen them play so well. They were on it the first 20-25 minutes. They scored their 2 goals. They could have scored more. Ecuador was just shell-shocked, couldn't adapt, and don't have a lot of offensive firepower on a good day, and simply just didn't have it. They had some, decent chances here and there throughout the game, but really were just, I think, just behind the 8 ball from the get-go. I don't think Mexico's lost in the Azteca, but twice in 60 years.
They lost once.
Or once, yeah. And this is their first victory in the knockout round of the World Cup since 1986, when it was last hosted in Mexico. So Mexico will play the winner of England-DR Congo, and God help the winner of that game, because I thought the Mexicans looked like they had superpowers tonight. They were amazing to watch, although the second half was kind of boring as Ecuador just sort of passed it around, and Mexico was happy to let them do so. So
is Mexico playing in Mexico?
One more time against the winner of DR Congo, England, which is the first game we have to preview for tomorrow. So let's head into that game. England play as the 4th seed, and DR Congo is the 46th seed. We don't know quite what the lineups will look like yet, but this is a game I think everybody expects England to win. And the question is it going to be a game where they can break the team down, who's going to play in a low block early or late, and just can it go tragically wrong like it did for Germany? Luke, how do you see this going? What do you think Thomas Tuchel's going to do to approach DR Congo here, who have a lot of EPL players, frankly, Wan-Bissaka, Wissa, others, Sidiki, Tuanzebe, right? So it's not as though these guys are going to be in awe of England.
I think it can go either way. I think it can be like the Portugal game where it was 1-1. It was
When Portugal played who?
DR Congo
Oh,
in the
yeah.
group stage, 1-1. Or I think England will dominate, but they need a player like Jude Bellingham to step up, just like take the game by the hand.
Yeah, we'll see. Axel, what do you think is going to happen here?
Yeah, I think it could go one of two ways. Either England step up and show their talent or play like they did against Ghana, which is what I think will happen. And I'm fearful that DR Congo score early on and England have trouble to score. Even though I think England should and will win, I'm fearful of that.
Well, I can tell you what I'd like to see is England play as a team and break them down and do so early so that we can all relax, because I think if they score a goal early, then DR Congo has to come out of its shell and we'll leave space open in behind for the England players to get more opportunities. However, they're more than likely going to toil and have to break down a low block, and I'm afraid Luke's probably right that a player like Bellingham or Kane are going to have to step up and just individually win the game. And there's nothing wrong with that, but I think when you see France play like they did today, which is such team ball, right? And you know England has that in them, or at least we think England has that in them, or we wish England had them in them. I hope they show some of that. And it's going to be really interesting to see who Thomas Tuchel trusts to maybe do that. But more tomorrow after the game. Let's move on to our second game of tomorrow. It is Luke's favorite Belgium against Senegal. Belgium is the 9th ranked team according to FIFA versus the Senegalese at number 15. This is going to be probably an awesome game in my opinion. But Luke, since Belgium's your baby for still unclear reasons, you've always loved Belgium. Why don't you tell us what you think's going to happen here? Belgium going to get the job done or not?
I'm so scared, man. They haven't been playing that well. They played well last game, and that was about it. I mean,
yeah, they
I think
played well last game against the
New
Zealand, the lowest ranked team in the tournament.
With the
So
best kids.
I hope they win. I don't know if they will, but I also want to say Senegal hasn't played that bad all tournament. 3-2 against Norway. And in the first half of the France game, they didn't look that bad. And they also beat Iraq 5-0. So off that,
I think
it's
it
a
could.
little scary.
Yeah. So what do you think's going to happen? Who do you think's going to win?
No comment.
No comment. Axel, who do you think's going to win?
I think Senegal will win. I think that Belgium definitely have a better squad, but it's not like that Senegal don't have good players. They still have Mane and Diaye the like. And I think that Senegal will be more prepared and want it more because they'll be more prepared because they've played France and Norway, and Belgium have played Egypt and New Zealand and Iran. But so I think Senegal will face the better teams. I think they'll want it more. And
yeah, we'll
it's
see.
giving me dirty
I think
looks.
it's hard to call. I think it's what Belgium shows up, right? Is it the Belgium of old? Is it the Belgium?
The Belgium of Lukaku.
I don't know.
There's
Yeah.
no
Where is
Hazard.
who's- I worry where the goals are going to come from Belgium if Trossard or Lukaku don't show up to score them, and Doku needs to serve somebody. But yeah, I think Senegal has had more prep for a hard game, but yeah, it's going to be tight. It's going to be really interesting, and may the game be entertaining.
One more,
Go ahead.
one more comment on that game. Also, Senegal's more prepared too because they played the best game against France in their group. Norway scored 1 but lost by 3. Iraq lost by 3, and Senegal only lost by 2. So
True, Senegal is
I
prepared.
think Belgium's relying on experience. I think they have more experience than Senegal.
They do, but Senegal are kind of AFCON champions, depending on the court ruling. AFCON did Senegal did beat Morocco in AFCON. Although if you don't know what happened there, and I'll let you
also
Google it.
saying
But
Brahim would have.
yeah, whatever. But Senegal was really the better team in the AFCON final. So anyway, they do have some experience, I think. But yes, the Belgian players also have a lot. So in our last game of the day, it's USA. I believe that we will win against Bosnia and Herzegovina. We will be at this match, cheering on our brothers in the USA team.
In a Bosnia shirt.
No. We support U.S. soccer here. So, yeah.
Right.
Anyway, this game's at 5 p.m. tomorrow. The USA, the 17th ranked team, take on the 64th team for Bosnia. Remember, Bosnia got to the tournament by defeating Wales and Italy. Although I think both came down to penalties, if I remember correctly. Bosnia scoring and relying on set pieces. So they are going to be a team that's difficult to break down. One could have said the same about Paraguay, and yet the USA destroyed them. Do we see the same tomorrow? Do we see something similar that we did tonight, where the stadium in Santa Clara, California is rocking and supports the US so much that, like Mexico tonight, they just destroy them? I hope so. I hope for our cases that's what happens. It'll be a lot of fun. As my mug says, though, I'm both US and English, so we always have that backup. But we're pulling for US. Luke, what do you think's going to happen here? Do you think that the U.S. has it in them to break it down and win their second knockout round game in a World Cup ever?
Yes, I think that the U.S. have been playing very well lately. I think they've been outstanding. I think they've been one of the best teams in the tournament.
Although they did lose against Turkey.
It was their B team. But I do think momentum is a big game changer, but I also see them winning because they'll have the motivation to win because Canada and Mexico also won. So I think they'll be sleeping thinking about winning tomorrow.
Axel, your thoughts?
I don't know. I think
Axel's not a great U.S. fan, if you can't tell.
No. I just don't know. I mean.
You think Bosnia's got it in them to win here?
I think Bosnia will park the bus.
They will park the bus.
So.
This guy's American, isn't he?
I think.
US.
US.
Why don't you tell the audience who you're pointing to?
Esmir.
I
can't.
There's an 18-year-old.
He was like
born in Wisconsin that plays for Bosnia, and it's this guy Alabegovic. But we all this family understands what it's like to have English or otherwise national roots, because if you had a choice, who would you play for, U.S. or England?
England.
Yeah. You?
Ecuador.
Funny. Anyway, I think we hope and pray, and we all believe that the U.S. should win. We if they play like they have been and continue to come out with the gumption and the energy that they've shown on display thus far. So we hope for the best. That's our review of what happened today and what might happen tomorrow. We'll be back with you tomorrow night. But before we go, Luke, what was your highlight of today?
My highlight of today was the France game. I just think they're an
Beautiful to
unbelievable
watch.
team.
Yeah. Axel, what's your moment of the day?
I'd have to say France game as well. They're fun to watch.
Well, my moment of the day was Mexico. I think seeing that type of energy in the Aztecas, what I hope we see tomorrow in the U.S. game, it's so much fun. And what we, I think, as football fans in this country all want to see. You guys, we've all been lucky to go to games all over the world, and especially in England, and we see the energy that can be with the home team, or we've seen England play over there, and we know what it's like to feel that energy. So we really hope to feel and be a part of that tomorrow with the U.S., but it was awesome to see in Mexico tonight. So with that, again, all things football, always call it football. Football is life. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you tomorrow. Go USA!